Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Gary and thanks for supporting my channel through the past 1 year I've been growing this channel. Thank you very much to my viewers. Please continue to help me to like and subscribe, share with your friends if you think that my content makes sense. And of course, feel free to reach out to me whenever at 9388-1661. I already spoken to some of the viewers and they have reached out to me and I have spoken to them and helped them to come up with plans that are very much catered to their needs and the best way moving forward. Okay, so let's get on with today's topic. Very hot topic. I've been preparing this topic for the longest time since March when everyone else is still focusing on the other launches, none other than Penrith. Okay, so basically for this topic, I have touched on 2 times already. If you can search my March story talking about it without a project name, but I have talked about the area itself, the potential in the area, as well as the natural audience in Queenstown area, Margaret area itself. And then I have talked about the next one, which is the comparison between Penrith and Sky at Holland, which is have very close attribute similarities. And at this moment, this is 9th of October of this filming, Sky at Holland should have received about 2,100 checks. You should get your ballot number. Maybe when you watch this, you already have over already, you've already picked your unit, or if you never picked your unit, you are still watching this because you are trying to go for your chance at Penrith. So stay tuned. Today's topic we're going to talk about is number 1, the unit type starting prices, because I have talked about quite a fair bit of the project of Penrith, so I think I should help you guys to decipher roughly based on my experience, based on my discussion with my team, where are the starting from prices likely to be. And then next, of course, I'll give you my preferred choice of each unit type. And finally, also number 3, I'll talk about key exit strategies like hype equals profit. What does that mean? What does that entail? And how does that happen in the past launches like Ori, Alta, as well as the recent one at Rivergreen. And finally, of course, everybody like to do, I also do lah, no choice lah. 2 things instead of 3 things I like and dislike about Penrith. Okay, so let's go on to the first part. For number 1, the unit type starting from prices. So how I look at it is we look at the whole site plan. There is one part that is of course closer to the HDB cluster, which is the south direction. Then there is near the entrance area, which is the north direction, that leads on to a small plot, a low plot ratio. Then further down is the GCB cluster. Okay, so if I were to look at it, okay, the 2-bed 1-bath 614 square feet, given the starting price from the developer at $1.495 million, which is 2,437 PSF, and there's only 2 stacks of them. They are namely at stack 4 and namely at stack 10. Given that stack 10 is a pool facing unit, a bit more privacy lah, and also a bit less noisy in terms of the traffic, right? And if you choose a higher floor unit, you might get a very good unblocked view of the northern region all the way up to Bukit Timah. So I would feel that in such a case, probably stack 4 would be where the starting from prices is likely to be, because it's nearer to the drop-off point, the entrance area, a lot more footfall, and that is where I feel that there is the starting from price, the level 2, likely level 2 unit starting from at $1.495 million. Okay, moving on to 2-bed 2-bath, which is 678 square feet. Starting from price is 1.665. PSF is 2,455. There's only 1 stack lah, so obviously that stack 7 is where the starting from price is going to be. Just heads up, you'll be facing a bit of the HDB cluster around Strathmore area. Then again, come to think about it, everybody knows when you stay in Queenstown, you're bound to face some HDB clusters because it is technically a concrete jungle, but I think our government planned the housing in such a way that there is actually a very good spacing in between each block. Regardless, you're at Queens, you're at Sterling, you're at Commonwealth Towers, you're bound to face some neighboring units, but at least it's not too close proximity. Okay, so next you have is the 3-bedroom compact 786 square feet. Okay, I would think that the starting from is at stack number 12, because stack 12 versus stack 6. Stack 6, like I say again, is the pool facing unit. If you pick a high floor, you can actually have an unblocked view of, even though there's also facing the south area, as compared to stack 12, which is much closer to the HDB cluster and you are close to the tennis court. So I think that is where the starting from price is going to be. And developer did not give starting from price for 3-bedroom plus a store. So I just do my guesstimation based on the average PSF, because you can see the range of PSF grew upwards towards the family type units, and developer also smart lah, because the family type unit is the main bulk of the demand over there ma. So why not try a slightly higher starting from price. So I did an average between the 3 compact and the 4-bedroom to come up with a 2567 average PSF, which for a 936 size, okay, we should be starting from around 2.402712 estimated price, $2.4 million lah. Okay, so basically I would think that there is only again one stack. I see again, yeah, there's only again one stack. So this stack, which is just next to the clubhouse area, okay, so that stack number 2 is where the starting from price likely to be. Next one is the interesting one, which is the 1173, one of my favorite 4-bedroom size. But layout, later we talk about it. But one of my favorite 4-bedroom size, because I think this size makes the quantum very optimal for a lot of HDB upgraders, condo upgraders to fall into. So I feel that this, I hope that developers, if you are listening, please make more 1173 kind of layout in the RCR, OCR area, so that we can benefit. A bit more people can upgrade towards the RCR, OCR area, and then that makes the whole upgrading journey also more fulfilling, like, upgrade a location, more convenient, maybe nearer to work, or maybe nearer to where their parents used to stay, like Margaret area is used to be a satellite town. My mom used to stay at Red Hill, Lengkok Bahru area, so that is where the first few HDBs used to be. Okay, so for 4-bedroom 1173 square feet, okay, it is likely to start from, I would say, the road-facing one, stack 5, okay, at around $3.078 million, level 2 unit. Okay, again, I do a guesstimate for the 4-bedroom premium, 1281 square feet, okay, which is only one stack, obviously. Okay, guesstimate again, because developer didn't give the starting from price for this unit type. They might challenge and have a higher starting from price. Then again, I just use the one based off 4-bedroom layout, which is $3.36 million. Okay, so that should be at stack number 3. Okay, so focusing on this, next we're gonna discuss later part is the PSF per floor level jump. So stay tuned to my part where I will talk about the height equals to profit segment, where I think I will try to help you to decipher what is the likely PSF jump per level based on my experience, based off like I mentioned earlier, what has happened at Ori, Elta, as well as Rivergreen. Okay, so this is my part on the unit type starting from prices. I hope this can help you to decipher where is the starting from prices, and then from there we will load in later the part in the segment, right, the per level jump, and that should give you a basis of what kind of pricing you can expect if you move forward. And that is excluding the premium added on to the views, to the pool view, to the unblocked landed views, so on and so forth. That will be a bit hard to determine. So we do the basic one first. Okay, so next is talking about my preferred choice for each type. Okay, actually I really quite think that Penrith is well done, and this falls into one of the things that I like about Penrith. If you notice, it's very clean. The 2-bedroom 就是一个 pattern. The 2-bedroom 2-bath 就是一个 pattern. Then they don't have a lot of different confusion. You know, they don't have, say for example, like Sterling, 2-bedroom 2-bath, 624 square feet, 635 square feet. I think there is a bit bigger one, 667 square feet if I'm not wrong. So there's too many types, creating too much confusion. Whereas for Penrith, neat, clean, straightforward, 2 towers. Okay, stacks, either 2 stacks of 2-bed 1-bath, 1 stack of 2-bed 2 baths. Okay, and then the interesting thing is, the 2-bed 1-bath, they don't shortchange you also. In fact, you can see that there's quite a reasonable space when you walk into the house. The kitchen area, okay, it have to be in an open state, galley style. It can't be an enclosed version, of course, because most 2-bed 2-bath 2-bed 1-bath doesn't really come with enclosed kitchen. So it's also connected to your dining area. Moving forward, your living area, not too bad, 2.8 meters kind of width. And then moving forward would be your balcony, not too big as well. Bedroom 2 is on the left side, following by the master room on the left side as well. A very typical non-dumbbell kind of layout. So if you like this kind of privacy created between the living and the dining and the sleeping area, then I think you might like the 2 bed 1 bath layout over here. And one thing I noticed also, which is quite interesting, thanks to the project team to point out, they have a tuck away wardrobe next to the master bath, so that doesn't take up too much space in your master room. And henceforth, I believe you can still put a bedside table, because one of the buyers I brought to see house, she's very particular. If you're watching this, you are very particular. You told me that you need to have a bedside table, and I understand why, because I believe maybe they read before they go to sleep, or they want to use their phone, then they can just put the phone beside the bedside table. So I think that is a very, it's just more of a convenience for a lifestyle kind of thing. So this configuration, definitely you can fit in that thing that you want. Okay, so next, moving on, is the 2 bed 2 bath layout. Also nicely created, is a tuck away enclosable kitchen of sorts, you know, so it is not a galley style kitchen, which also appeals, I feel, to small families, starting families, and eventually going down the road, young couples that are being blocked by the income ceiling into the Prime Plus scheme, and then they don't want to overpay also for too expensive for the HDB if it continues to rise in the area lah. So this is an alternative for them to move into quickly and easily also. Okay, so typical dumbbell layout. The room sizes are quite comfortable. 11 square meters for the master, 8 for the common area, or the common room. You know, you have a 6 meter long living dining area and a 2.8 meters width of living dining space. I think it's quite generous. Even if you have one kid, okay, there's still a play area in the middle in the middle where number 25 square meters is. Okay, so I think you have a little play area over there as well. Okay, so I think there is some form of future proofing. Okay, be it you are a PR buyer, single buyer, or you are a couple that is planning to have one kid, this kind of unit types, I think, is very functional for these families. Okay, so obviously no other choice. This is my preferred choice for the 2 bedrooms. And that depends on your budget. If you are restricted by your budget at around 1.7 up to, maybe it's a 2 bed 1 bath. If you can go up slightly more, up to $1.9 million, you can go for a 2 bed 2 bath in this area. Okay, next is talking about the 3 bedroom. 3 bedroom, there's 2 types also. Very clean, very neat, just 2 types. The compact version and then the one with a stall, or the premium version. Okay, so the compact version, there is a 786 square feet. The premium version, there is a 850 square feet. You don't really see too much of a difference, except maybe at the entrance area where the kitchen is for the 2 different types. So to streamline the whole thing, I would say that I will pick the 786 square feet objectively, because we look at the delta difference between the size is about 64 square meters. That brings you of a price gap between your neighboring unit at 850 square feet. Okay, there's always a price gap. It is $2,511 starting from, that will be $160,000 price difference. Moving up to 2006, there is $166,000. Going up to 2009, if you're on a higher floor, there is $185,000 difference from your neighboring house. So when it comes to the resale market, I think this kind of price gap difference still will attract buyers to come to see your 786 first. They see whether it fits their requirement. If it does, they can buy under one name, then I'm sure the future resale buyers will go ahead. Of course, if they want slightly something bigger, then they go for the 850 square feet. Then again, they are both very different stacks, different views also. So it really depends on your purchase purpose. If you are really just want to do a own stay 10 years, just go for the one that you like the most, probably 850. You can get a better view, you know, you can get a slightly bigger space. But if not, if you ask me, 786 is good enough, just nice. It should be around 830 or 850 for a non-harmonized if you compare it with aircon latch inclusive. Okay, so going down to the 3 bedroom plus store, or the premium one, right? For me, I would choose the 936 square feet. Not just because of the price difference, okay, that we can see, because 936 to 1066, the size difference should be more than 100 square feet, so the price difference will definitely be there. So 936, definitely you will save more in terms of the entry price and the exit strategy. Okay, and also doesn't change too much, except that if you are someone that wants a bigger hallway, you know, which you have seen at the show flat itself, the show model, if you are coming from a Queenstown area, your current house is a 4-room in Queenstown, the newer blocks, they are around 87 square meters. So that it turns out to be about 936 square feet. If you really want to feel the upgrade, and most of them really do, because living in the smaller HDB is enough for them. So going to a 1066 will feel a lot more comfortable, and that is where, if your choice is you're going to, like I said earlier, if you're going to stay there for a long haul, the next 10-15 years, choose something that is comfortable. Exit strategy come later lah. Something that is comfortable for your family. I'm sure you love staying in Queenstown area, a good upgrade to Penrith as well. So if you ask me, if you're on a budget consideration, you want to buy under one name, yet you still want a stall, I would think that the 936 would fall on most people's budget. But of course, if you have a bit more to spare, you know, you can buy it together with your wife, a joint purchase, right? Then why not look at the 1066 square feet one? Because really, if you see the show model, you can experience the width of the living and dining area, and I believe you'll truly be wowed lah. Because really, I'm currently selling a unit at a 4-room in Dawson area, Sky Terrace. You don't really get this kind of feeling when you walk into the 4-room HDB versus in the show flat unit, the 1066 one. But I still choose the 936 objectively because of the pricing lah. Okay, so basically that is that for me. If you ask me about 3-bedroom stall, 3-bedroom plus stall, my choice. Okay, so ironically, when we reached the 4-bedroom, just now I said that I like the 1173 kind of size because it fits a lot of people's budget. But I also do realize that if you go 4-bedroom, might as well just go for the biggest one lah. I mean, you're already at the price point already, and you're probably gonna stay for a long time also. It's not gonna be a short flip. Your family is rooted in the area. You can bring on your parents to come and stay with you. Might as well just go for the 1281 square feet. Number one, because when you walk in, even though the hallway is slightly longer, you are compensated with a wide frontage layout, which if you notice from my description, I changed certain things so that for you all to visualize. Likely the dining table can be in the balcony, because the balcony is truly very big. It is, I think, easily, let me see, more than 4 meters lah. Should be about 5 to 6 meters width, 5.5 meters width. You can put a 6-seater dining set, no problem, very easy. You still have space in the balcony. But most importantly, you will free the dining space in your living room, and you open up your whole living space. It's just very magnificent lah when you do a resale unit in such a all. Buyers will love it, number one. Number two, it's very hard to find this layout right in Queenstown area, having served resale for quite a fair bit. I have not seen, interestingly, I have not seen a 4-bedroom Commonwealth Towers. I have not seen a 4-bedroom Sterling, even though there is supply over there. So meaning to say, it's really quite hard to find. It's quite a rarity. And this is also comparable to one of my friends' latest purchase at Metropolitan. Also a wide frontage, because they go in, they just like the generosity of the living and dining space, and they can reimagine how they can place the kids' items or the kids' play area at the back, freeing up the space, and the dining area in the balcony itself. Okay, so if you ask me, I'm pretty sure this will be a sought after layout in the resale market as well. So if you ask me, go big or go home, 1281 square feet, 4-bedroom is your choice at Penrith. If not, obviously go for the smaller one lah, which is the 1173 square feet. Not that cannot sell, it's just that will be a bit different lah, because it's the portrait kind of layout for the living dining space ma. Okay, but every part else of the house is quite similar, so I think it should be quite fine. It's just about more of the entrance feeling when you enter the house. Okay, so this is my key takeaway for the preferred choice of each unit type. Okay, let's move on to the next thing, which I promised one of my viewers to actually talk about it also. I think one key thing today is why Ori does so well, or why Alta does so well, or Rivergreen, and it gives some buyers the confidence also, is because of the way the entry price is being staged upwards by itself in the skyscraper effect, which I have mentioned in a couple of my previous video. If you catch Promenade Peak, I did talk about that as well. I believe I did talk about it right at the start of the year when Ori is being launched, also start to realize that such a trend actually occurs. So what does it mean? For example, if you look at Alta, estimated at level 20 is 2500 PSF. Highest transacted at level 38 is 2,852 PSF. So average out, if it's the same 3-bedroom unit at 1,000 square feet, just as an example, right? You can see that the level 38 one and the level 21 has about 300,000 kind of difference in price. And when we translate this to the resale market, I think you put yourself as a very good advantage if you are at a low to mid floor level unit type. Okay, so I feel that this kind of height equals to profit is very prevalent, especially when it goes to the resale market. We can see the difference gradually being built up. Okay, so it's the same for Ori. Ori has a very interesting example. I have a client that bought Ori through me. We managed to, very lucky, we got a nice Q number. So we managed to buy in at level 705. Okay, we entered at $1.563 million. And the same level is of level 40 at 4005 is sold for $1.814 million. So you can see such a price gap at the same entry, right? Then when it goes to exit, I think, of course, my owner might not want to sell at TOP lah, or rather hold a bit longer. But what I'm trying to say is that if the next time round, the one at level 40 wants to exit at $1.92 million, I think I have a very big gap to play around with, and this helped me to generate more resale buyers to come and see my listing, and from there then we can do our conversion and so on and so forth. Of course, not dissing people that buy level 40, don't get me wrong. Okay, level 40 has its own charm also that level 7 cannot get. The view, the impressiveness. You know, some people just want to go for this because buying house, when you sell in the resale market, you need to also arouse people this kind of feeling. That's the reason why I stay at level 54 at the sale lah. Okay, so I think it's quite hard. I can truly understand because it's quite hard, especially it's for staying. I think you also want to have that element that you want to be there for a long time, how you're going to visualize. So not saying that price is everything. Sometimes this kind of little visuals, this kind of little attributes do help. Okay, so if you're buying for own stay, don't be worried. Okay, if you ask me, level 40, 3,200 PSF, I estimate based on the transacted at Rivergreen, which sold out 90% on the first day. Their highest PSF transacted is 3,200 at Great Wall. So I use the same benchmark, mimic over to Penrith. I think 3,200, if it really hits, don't buy at level 40 lah. Just buy level 35, 34, 33. I think slightly lower PSF, safer lah. Don't need to go up to level 40. Don't need to be the highest, the most garang one. But essentially what I'm trying to say is that if you look down, how do we also determine the per level jump? Starting from is 2,500 for Penrith. If they're going to end at 3,200, a very linear math you can do is, of course, to divide down by the number of levels. Then you can see that at level 20, we should land around 2,900, which means that per level jump should be $20 per level. Okay, this is a very basic, no premium added to the unblocked views, pool views, just very basic kind of increment. So for example, at the 614 square feet at stack 4, which is the starting from price, I think the per level jump should be about 12,000 or around 13,000, thereabouts my estimate. So I hope this information can help you based on my experience in the past launches, walk through clients together to the selection of the unit, to booking the unit, and I hope this information can greatly help you. If you want to discuss more, feel free to. If you want to have my information also, I'm more than happy to share it with you. Okay, so finally, going on to the last part. Okay, so I'm going to talk about 2 things I like and 2 things I don't like. Okay, obviously, if I don't like, the face will be like the baby like that. I see Eddie also cry. Okay, so one thing that I don't like, and I think most of y'all might have known about it, is that the pool level is not connected to the residential lift. Like, what the hell? I mean, you will want to come down from a level, go down to level 2 or level 3 of the pool area, straight away go out. You can go into the pool after you're done, you know, wrap the towel and then go up to your unit, right? But unfortunately, it's not the case, because if you try to zoom in over here, I try to zoom in, there's no entrance below the block from the pool area. So likely what happens is that it should be by right going down to the basement car park, then go to your respective lift area also. So up to your preference. Because sometimes this is just a little thing that the developer probably couldn't construct in certain ways. Okay, so if you ask me, this is one thing that people might not like, it might irk people, but not too big an issue. Number 2, like I mentioned, Queenstown area is built up. you know, the buildings there are easily 20 stories, if not 40 stories high. So essentially, you are technically in a concrete jungle. You are in a built-up area. You know, you'll be facing certain blocks, certain neighbors. You might not like it. You might pay more premium, you know, in the resale market if the seller is trying to sell you the GCV view, the north view, or if there's pocket south view of the waterfront, they might try to sell you on that also. So essentially, this is probably something that I don't like, but coming into this area, you should know that likely the convenience might supersede such an issue. You are really in a nice neighborhood that goes to CBD easily, that goes to Orchard in about 7 to 8 or 9 minutes by driving, and also you can get to the west area, Holland area easily within the 5 minutes drive or so. Okay, so this is what I might not like, being too built up. You know, you want to have somewhere that is a bit more have a better view, for example. Okay, so two things I like about Penrith. Okay, like how I like my cat, if you notice. Okay, so I think I try to put this framework inside so that at least I think the content feels a bit more entertaining. Okay, obviously, you have heard, most people have said before, this is the last plot of land nearest to the MRT, and I believe this should be the last plot of land that has the highest plot ratio, which means that you can hit your skyscraper effect, height equals to profit, like remember the concept that I mentioned. So this is probably the last one, because the rest of them subsequently further away beyond Penrith, right, which is subjected to detailed planning, all already has their plot ratio. It's about 2.1, 1.6 and 1.4, which is 24 stories, 12 stories and 5 stories respectively, because they'll be going nearer and nearer towards the Dempsey area, the GCB area. So the ability to build higher becomes lesser. So this is one last thing that I think in terms of limited supply, low supply near the MRT, high rise, Penrith give you an advantage, or the last advantage that you can get for the resale buyers in the future. And we do not know whether developers will really want to bid up for this kind of land, or are this land stated for HDB purposes. So essentially, that is why if you have been down to the show flat at Penrith, you'll realize that actually there's quite a lot of people, there's garnered quite a lot of attention for this, and I'm sure this will be quite a sellout. Okay, that depends on developer also. Okay, so this is the final one. Is what I liked about Penrith finally is, as I read longer, as I analyze a bit more, you really realize that the uniformity in each unit type is quite rare, quite uncommon, especially only so in the recent harmonized plots of condominiums launched in a couple of years. So I think this is very important because it gives buyers a very certainty of the unit type they are seeing, versus having to remember so many different types. For example, like Sterling, as I mentioned, there's 13 different types of 2 bedrooms. So out of the 2 bed 2 bath and 2 bed 1 bath, there's 13 different types. So buyers get a bit lost, and pricing also gets a bit jumbled up. You know, how come 624 square feet sell for a higher PSF, but the overall price is the same as the 635 square feet at a lower PSF? So that gives valuers probably also a bit of a hard time, I feel. So Penrith, at least it will be consistency in the size, consistency in the PSF, and consistency in your price and profitability. So this is what I feel is one of the strengths of Penrith, especially when it comes to the resale market. Okay, so that should be all that I want to share with everyone about Penrith. If you have not seen the show flat, more than happy that you can contact me. There is still some time, I think, to see the show flat. If not, we can see what is left on post-launch, or you want to discuss with me on what are the unit types to look at Penrith. I'm more than happy to consult for you. As you can see, I'm very well versed with this project. If not, I'll see you in my next video. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye guys. Bye bye. Good luck for a better thing.